everyone, this is Abhilasha Dwivedi and you're most welcome in my podcast, Knowing Universe. So I cannot thank you enough for your love and support which you're pouring for my podcast. Really grateful. You're constantly you're motivating me to come up with new ideas, new thoughts. And as you know, my podcast is not a typical, astronomical podcast. It is related to astronomy, but it is to make sure that everyone of us can understand it in the best yet simple language. So concepts should be conveyed, but in very simple language. That is, I am very sure about. So today's topic is, I am 100% sure that everyone will love it because it's about aliens. Aliens, I think everyone is curious about, and some of us don't believe, and some of us definitely believe. So I am someone who believes in aliens. And this actually week I had interaction with my students, and they were saying that they really don't believe in aliens. It's not really possible. But then, just hear me out, please. Okay, I have not done any research on this because I already have a lot of thoughts about it. If there are no aliens, who are we? What are we doing here? Alien, by definition, if you just go on Google and Google the definition of aliens, you'll find a creature from another planet. We are creatures, isn't it? We are living on a planet Earth.
6.
We are aliens. Aliens for some are Martians, some are Martians, some are Mercurians, etc.
Lift off of
Now,
Space Shuttle Atlantis
question
on
is
a mission
that,
to build,
we are
resupply,
humans,
and to do
right?
research on
We
the
are humans, so
International
how is
Space
it we are
Station.
aliens? We cannot be aliens.
Houston now
Of course
controlling.
you are
Atlantis
alien.
begins its
Of course
penultimate
you are.
journey
I
to shore
will
up
go
the
and ask
International
Martian.
Space Station.
But
Atlantis
then
now on the
the
proper
next question
alignment for
comes
its
to
8.5 minute
how
ride
is it
to orbit,
possible
4.5
when we
million
go
pounds
and
of
we
hardware and
explode, we
humans
don't
taking
see
aim on the
anything?
international outpost.
And for a very long time, I was thinking exactly the same.
30 seconds
We
into the
don't have
flight,
any evidence.
Atlantis almost
Our
2 miles in
Mercury, oh my
altitude,
God,
almost
it's
6
too
miles
close
downrange
to
from the
sun.
Kennedy Space Center
And
already,
it's
traveling
very
500
cold
miles
in
an
the
hour.
night and very hot in the daytime. How can we
3
survive?
liquid fuel main engines now throttling
how
back to
a life
72%
how
of
a
rated
life form
performance,
can
going into the
survive.
bucket, reducing
Or
the stress on the
Venus,
shuttle as it breaks
which
through
is
the sound
the
barrier.
hottest planet. How can we survive? Any life form, the same. Repeat the question from my side. Okay, and how about Mars? How is it possible? Mars is so cold. There is nothing. There is no water on Mercury, Venus, and there is no water. Like maybe some ice patch, yes, we have discovered recently. Yeah, it's not possible, not at all. Yeah, and the rest of them are actually gaseous planets. So it's impossible for any life form to exist there, isn't it? That is the most plausible explanation. But hear me out. Suddenly one day, actually this was exactly I think a year ago, I was thinking and suddenly it hit me. What if the life forms, they are not like us? Because see, there are bacteria. Generally, most of the life forms, they are good till 45 degrees Celsius, okay? And beyond that, they start dying. Like even we cannot function, beyond 45, 50 degrees Celsius. And that's why, oh my God, it's so hot. We are dying. We do, because our system, metabolic function just, stop. Like not stop as in like period, but it just starts slowing down significantly. And that's why we should not eat anything in fever, because if someone is having higher temperature in their body, the metabolic function is start to reduce significantly, as I just said. But at the same time, you cannot ignore the fact there are some thermophilic bacteria, right? There are some thermophilic bacteria which can survive in hot spring, yeah, which is more than 70 degrees Celsius. And we do use them in different kind of techniques in biotechnology, but they do exist. The concern here, the question, the relevance here is that the life forms, they do exist even at high temperature. So what if, and also on a very low temperature, our poles, North Pole, South Poles, we have bacteria there which are able to thrive in that temperature. So we have this two ends met. And the next concern could be oxygen. Not every living organism need oxygen. There are anaerobes all the time, right? They are anaerobes all the time, and they are useful for us. The bacteria and some of the fungi and some of the other less evolved life forms. They don't really need oxygen. They can survive even in less amount of oxygen. Even us, our muscles start doing anaerobic respiration when we need. We don't have access to immediate access to oxygen. We do survive, right? So that's also possible. Now is water. We do need water. Actually, I remember I read somewhere that the human beings are actually, anxious cucumber. And I laughed so hard because I just completely agree. We are around 60 to 70% water, right? So we are just anxious cucumbers. So maybe there are no anxious cucumbers. Those are the life forms. They are maybe berries. How about that? Isn't it a thought, right? It's a good thought, I would say. I would completely agree with this. So please agree with me and think. I would just say that just don't plain simple agree with me. Just think about it. So we are looking for, the life forms which can survive at very high temperature and maybe, at a very low oxygen and water requirement, right? It's possible. Now the next option, fourth actually, could be that why we are not able to catch them, why we don't sense them, register them on our radar. Probably we overestimate ourselves. We are not as evolved as them. It's possible. Why should we think that we are the most evolved life forms? I think the aliens, they do exist. For me, I'm 100% sure that if humans are there on Earth, then definitely aliens on other planets. So if they are more evolved than us. Obviously, if someone is living on Mercury or Venus and Mars, they are apparently unfavorable, unfriendly environment they have, right? So they definitely, if someone is surviving in difficult circumstances, they have adapted. So they have adapted and they are definitely much superior than us. We have very limited vision, we have very limited hearing, we can hear only within 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, we cannot see beyond certain kilometers, right? So we are very limited life forms. Just because we are probably more evolved than the other life forms, that doesn't make us the best yet. So I think we should keep our head on our real shoulders, and we should really think that probably the life forms on the other planets, they are just more evolved, and we just haven't figured them out. Okay, please pay respect to those life forms to get respect back. This is how I think the basic things will work, and I think very soon the time is not very far away when there will be a Martian, Venusian, Mercurian, or who knows, Jupiterian, I don't know these other words or not, but Neptunian, Uranian. You keep thinking and you'll get new words. So the aliens are possible, and I'm very sure that this is not the only episode I'm going to do about aliens. Aliens will pop up every now and then. I just had to do an episode on aliens. Thank you very much for listening, and any feedback, as I do receive your feedback, and just I really, really feel very happy when I receive your feedback, and I do changes accordingly. Please keep sharing those feedbacks with me on my podcast, Gmail address, abhilashapodcast@gmail.com. Be your own guru. Yes, it's very important. Every one of you. Be your own guru and have fun. Enjoy your life. And I'll see you next week. Bye.